Thank you, Kate, for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
No, it's so nice to meet you, and hi.
Hi. First of all, I want to congratulate you on Loki. It is absolutely incredible. It's like world building and it's epic, also like intimate. So congratulations on such a huge achievement.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit. Oh, of course. So tell me a little bit about, how do you go into a big project like Loki?
Yeah, so basically I found out they were making a show about Loki, and I love the character, and I like everyone, I've watched him change and shift into many different places across the MCU, and I just was like, I thought he had also died in Infinity War, then suddenly he was back in Endgame, and I was like, what? Oh. And I was like, I want to be part of wherever he's gone, because I just think he's one of the best characters. Like, I've always been drawn, I think, to outsiders and stories about identity. And I think Loki for me is so interesting because I love villains. And I think that, you don't necessarily have to like what they're doing, but you have to understand it. And I think that Tom's performance has grounded Loki in such empathy and wit, that you can't help but root for him. And because it was Avengers Loki as well, I was like, what a unique storytelling opportunity. We're going to take a character that, was supposed to be arrested and go to Asgard, and now we're not doing that. We're going to put him in the TVA, and, he's chaos and it's a place of order, and what's going to happen. So, yeah, I was just very happy that I got to be part of it.
I love that. And I heard that you kind of had a marathon conversation with your first time meeting him, and kind of nerded out on, both like Marvel, MCU stuff, as well as both of your thoughts on Loki, the series. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically, I pitched Marvel in Burbank, and then I remember I met Kevin Feige, I think a few weeks later when he was in London. And honestly, I thought he was going to be like, good job, but we've decided to go with this director. And then he was like, no, we're giving you the job, but you need to go meet Tom like in a few days. And I was like, oh, okay. So they flew me out to New York, and it was pretty cool. Like, last time we saw Loki disappear was New York, and I was like, I'm walking around New York with Loki. This is great. But yeah, Tom called it synchronizing watches, and I think we really did that. We spoke about like what we really connected to in the story, like what the themes were to us, and wanting to obviously pay respect to what had come before, but also have a good reason to go back into the character. And yeah, it was a very intense conversation. I would say it was also slightly in code because, Tom can't go for walks easily. I remember like a guy doing like his morning stretches by us, and we were like, this man is definitely eavesdropping on our conversation. I remember trying to talk about it in code with him, and I think Tom was like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, yes, Arnold's story. So it was quite funny. But no, I think it was just a really good moment for us both. I think the main thing I really found was that we were on the same wavelength. We're both very studious people and very thorough, so I think it was also just about building up trust, right, as an actor and director, and him knowing that I had his back. And we might push the character in a certain scene a certain way, but if it doesn't work, it's no big deal. No one has to see it. And if it does work, then that's really exciting. So yeah, he's been an amazing creative ally to me across the whole production. So yeah, very glad I got to work with him.
I love that. And so, 30 plus movies and now series. How do you, as the director, where do you see this in the greater, ever expanding MCU? And this Loki has really expanded the MCU even more.
Honestly, I think for me, it's really exciting being part of this new phase, right? And I think that our show has really interesting ripple effects across everything in the MCU. And I just was excited to be part of this next step, not only in Loki's story, but just getting to set up the TVA. Like, I hope they'll return there, and being part of setting up the style of the place and the look and the tone of that place was such a massive honor for me, honestly. So yeah, I think for me, it was just trying to tell the best story and, make it a visual treat for people and something that they hadn't seen before in the MCU. Because as you said, like, there's a lot there, and I wanted to make sure it felt unique and something fresh and different.
And I think that is more than well achieved. So you're obviously a fangirl. I'm a fanboy of the MCU. How do you keep it? I mean, besides contracts and everything, how do you aren't you dying to talk about it, but you really can't?
some ways though, I'm like Loki and I'm very mischievous. So I actually quite have enjoyed it, like having the secret. I've got so many friends of mine though that are always trying to trip me up or try and get information. Like one of my friends keeps sending me like podcasts from the MCU, and I know your game. I know what you're trying to do. But yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, it's been quite fun because, you know, I obviously I don't know much outside of obviously what's going on with our show, but knowing what's going on with our show and being a fan, like, it's very exciting to me. And no, I took the secrecy very seriously because I don't know, I hate stuff getting spoiled. Like I think it's so fun, you know. I was really lucky that I didn't know, for example, that Loki died in Infinity War. And if I went in knowing that, I think it would have felt so different to me. Like when I went in, I was in shock. And like, I think that was Marvel and the filmmaker's intention, and it really landed for me. So no, I've taken it seriously because I really want people to enjoy the ride and enjoy the story. So yeah.
Well, I absolutely love Loki, and what you've done is an incredible and exciting new chapter in the MCU. Thank you so much for your work with that, and thank you for speaking with me on iHeartRadio's Pop Culture Weekly.
No, thank you so much, and yeah, thank you to everyone listening. Cool.